It was one of those mornings when the sun rose quietly over the rice fields, touching everything in gold. The air smelled of wet earth and mango trees. Somewhere at the edge of a small village in Cebu, a boy and his younger sister sat on a wooden porch, barefoot, sharing a single pair of earphones that had long lost its shine. Liam was 17, calm, quiet, with the kind of eyes that noticed everything but said very little. He carried the quiet strength of someone who had grown up too soon. Beside him sat Mira, 15, fragile-looking yet full of light. Her laughter, when it came, could fill their small home like morning sunlight spilling through bamboo walls. They didn't have much. Their house leaned slightly to one side, and the old radio sometimes caught more static than songs. But when Mira sang, even the static seemed to fade away. Her voice wasn't just beautiful, it was pure. The kind of voice that made people stop mid-step, unsure if they were hearing something real or something divine. Their mother, a laundry worker, would often hum along as she hung clothes in the yard. She'd smile at the sound, though her eyes often carried quiet worry, a mother's worry for children growing in a world that didn't promise much. For Liam and Mira, music was never a dream of fame. It was survival. It was how they remembered the father who used to play guitar before life pulled him elsewhere. It was how they forgot hunger, heat, and hard days. Each evening, as the sun sank behind the sugarcane fields, the two would sit outside, sharing one small microphone borrowed from school. The neighbors would pause by their fence to listen, a soft duet that turned ordinary nights into something sacred. No one knew then that those same harmonies, born in a wooden porch under a flickering bulb, would one day echo across oceans and stages. But for now, it was just them, a brother, a sister, and a dream too quiet for the world to hear yet. Hardship rarely arrives with warning. Sometimes it comes quietly, like a shadow stretching across the floor. Other times, it arrives with the roar of a storm. For Liam and Mira, it was both. One evening, dark clouds rolled in faster than anyone expected. Winds tore through the coconut trees, and rain hammered down with a fury the village hadn't seen in years. Their small home shuddered in the storm's grip. The old roof groaned, then gave in, letting water pour in like an open wound. Liam tried to block the leaks with old blankets, but the storm was stronger than any effort a 17-year-old boy could make. Mira held their mother's hand as water filled the floor and lightning split the sky. By morning, the storm had passed, but their life had changed. Their home, already fragile, now carried the scars of the night. Their mother fell ill shortly after. The long hours of work, the constant exhaustion, and the stress of rebuilding had drained every ounce of strength she had. One day she simply couldn't stand. Her breath trembled more than her voice, and the warm smile she always wore faded into something pale and fragile. Liam made the choice quietly, the way he made all his decisions. He left school to work at a construction site, earning enough to buy medicine and rice. His hands, once soft from guitar strings, grew rough from lifting cement bags and broken wood. He never complained. That wasn't who he was. Mira, with her shy heart, began to sing at local gatherings, fiestas, and small street corners. She didn't sing for applause, she sang for survival. Sometimes people left coins in a box near her feet. Sometimes they didn't. But every time she sang, she imagined her voice holding her family together, even when everything else felt like it was falling apart. And slowly, without them knowing, these hardships shaped something powerful within them, a resilience made of equal parts love and loss. A harmony forged through pain. A strength that would one day carry them onto the biggest stage in the world, though at that time, it was just a distant, impossible dream. Sometimes destiny doesn't knock loudly. Sometimes it arrives as quietly as a stranger passing by with a phone in their hand. It happened on an ordinary Sunday afternoon. Liam and Mira were singing at the small marketplace near the town plaza, just two siblings blending their voices against the backdrop of vendors calling out prices and children chasing each other between stalls. Their performance wasn't planned. They had simply stopped to rest, and Mira began humming a tune. Liam joined in. And slowly, as if guided by something unseen, the melody grew. People gathered, not in a crowd, but in a soft circle of curiosity. A tourist, backpack slung over one shoulder, paused near the fruit stand. She listened, entranced. Then she lifted her phone and recorded a short clip, less than a minute, capturing the raw, fragile beauty of the siblings' harmony. They didn't notice her. They were lost in the song, in the moment, in the small universe they created whenever they sang together. Hours later, the video was posted, not on a big platform, not on a famous page, but on her personal social account. She added a simple caption, 2 voices. 1 heart. Days passed. The siblings didn't know anything. They continued with life, Liam working long hours, Mira balancing school, chores, and her singing. Their mother slowly regained strength but still carried worry in her eyes. Then one evening, while Mira was helping prepare dinner, a notification arrived on their mother's old phone. It came from an email they rarely checked, an inbox filled with loan reminders, school newsletters, and the occasional spam message. This one was different. It was an invitation. A formal letter from a producer at America's Got Talent. Someone had seen the video. Someone had shared it. Someone important had listened, and felt something powerful enough to reach out across oceans. Liam read the message twice, then a third time, hardly breathing. Mira stood frozen, her hands trembling above the bowl of washed rice. Their mother held her chest as if the weight of the moment was too much to contain. Hope, fragile but bright, entered their home like a long-awaited sunrise. From that night on, everything changed. But in the simplest ways, packing borrowed clothes, practicing in neighbors' yards, receiving donations from people who believed in them more than they believed in themselves. The path ahead was uncertain, but for the first time, it felt like the world was opening a door just for them. The doors of the AGT auditorium opened like the entrance to another world. Bright lights washed over the long hallway, and a deep, distant hum filled the air, the kind of sound thousands of people make when they gather with anticipation. Liam and Mira stood at the edge of it all, clutching hands, trying to steady their breaths. They had traveled across oceans, but nothing prepared them for this moment. The stage felt impossibly large, glowing under beams of white and blue. The crowd stretched far into the darkness, a sea of faces, each one waiting for something unforgettable. The siblings felt small, 2 fragile souls standing in a place meant for giants. Backstage, their hearts pounded. Liam tried to hide his trembling hands behind his back. Mira pressed a palm over her chest, feeling her heartbeat flutter like a trapped bird. For a moment, the world felt overwhelming, too loud, too bright, too much. But then, as they always did, they found each other's eyes. One look was enough. They had survived storms far greater than fear. When their names were called, the siblings stepped forward. The stage lights embraced them first, warm, blinding, almost weightless. The judges' table glowed under the spotlights. Simon leaned forward, expression unreadable. The crowd waited in complete stillness. Then the music began, soft, delicate, a single note that felt like dawn breaking after a long night. Liam inhaled deeply, and Mira lifted her chin. Their voices rose together, blending as if shaped by the same breath, the same heartbeat. The first harmony sent a ripple through the room. People leaned in. Some placed their hands over their mouths. Their song, raw, emotional, full of every hardship they had survived, floated across the arena with a purity that felt almost unreal. As the melody climbed, Myra's voice cracked, not from weakness, but from the weight of memory. The audience knew. They felt it. A wave of emotion rolled through the hall. Simon's expression softened. His eyes glimmered with a rare mixture of wonder and disbelief. One by one, the judges stood. Then the audience followed, thousands rising at once, pulled to their feet by something deeper than applause. And then it happened. A sudden burst of gold. A button pressed with force and emotion. Confetti exploded like a storm of sunlight. Liam and Mira stood frozen, bathed in falling gold, tears slipping silently down their cheeks. The world moved quickly after the golden buzzer, faster than Liam and Mira could understand. One moment, they were standing on a stage covered in gold confetti, trembling with disbelief, and the next, they were being guided backstage through a blur of cameras, lights, and voices calling their names. But the real miracle wasn't happening inside the studio. It was happening everywhere else. Within an hour, their performance was uploaded. Within 2 hours, it began to spread. Within a day, it was impossible to escape. The video crossed continents before the siblings even finished dinner that night. People shared it accompanied by words like hope, healing, and the purest duet in AGT history. Reactions poured in, tears, goosebumps, miracles, memories. Filipinos abroad shared it with pride unmatched, writing messages about home, family, and the power of their roots. Clips of Liam and Mira singing together spread across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and news pages. Celebrities reposted it. Choirs reacted to it. Music teachers explained why their harmony felt like a heartbeat. Parents played it for their children. Nurses played it in hospital wards. Soldiers watched it during breaks. Thousands wrote about how the performance reminded them of the people they loved, the sacrifices they made, and the dreams they had buried long ago. And across the ocean, in their small Philippine village, their mother watched all of this unfold on an aging phone screen. She sat in the same wooden home that had once leaked during storms, surrounded by neighbors who clapped and wiped their eyes. Every new notification made her cover her mouth in disbelief. Her children, her quiet, humble children, were touching the world in ways she had never imagined. Liam and Mira returned home weeks later. They weren't treated like celebrities, they were welcomed like family. People embraced them with gratitude, not admiration. They had become symbols of hope, proof that even those born into hardship could rise high enough to be seen by the whole world. Their lives didn't become perfect overnight. Fame wasn't their goal. But something had changed, something unbreakable. Their story had become a reminder carved in the hearts of millions. It doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is how brightly your voice chooses to rise.